Hello YouTube. Yes, I recorded another video before this, and I asked, okay, let's try another one and see which one it will be better. And I decided just to start. That's what I wanted to say. I decided just to start because I was planning for 2 months, like now, to start a YouTube channel and write my thoughts and record them. But now I just decided to, like, okay, let's just do it. So this is my place. First of all, this is how it is snowing, and I am like in the mountain now because it's very up there. There's this. I will speak, yeah, I will speak about Islam, and that's what my video will be about: Islam, Quran. I will tell first my story. My story is like, I born as a Muslim guy, and now I'm choosing Islam, not like only born. And we all need God actually. God is like our supporter there. He is our guy, our big guy, you know. I'm thankful actually that we have God because that's where every time you feel down, you feel like you need people, you need someone to count on, you know. So it's good to count on people. It's good to have a trust and to have a good relationship, intimacy relationship with people, and healthy boundaries, healthy relationship with people. But I'm saying, like, it's good to have like a higher power also. That's you yourself individually count on, because he's like God. He helps individual people. He does not help groups. Groups should help themselves by themselves. So individual, he is like more helpful. And let's just go back in the history when first of the time where like people on this earth, God was like much like direct. He do things direct. He do things like by himself. Like if he sent someone, if didn't they be people they didn't believe it, he was like okay, punish them, and maybe he will reincarnate them after that or something. It's his job. And after that, he started to send more messengers to speak through them and support these messengers also, if they will not get be supported or they will be got like. Then he sent Muhammad, which was like in our prophet, in our Quran. We believe he is like the last prophet, not the last messenger, the last prophet. And because messengers, everything can be a messenger for you. Like maybe a word you heard it could be a messenger. Messenger is just like something. There is a concept has been delivered to you. Maybe you will hear it, maybe you will not hear it, but it will be delivered as clear as possible. And yeah, and Muhammad, he came with Quran. His message was to bring Quran to the life. And Quran, it's like the last book, let's say it. Last book, let's say the last version. There is more deep there, but it is the last version of the holy books. And it is like, I describe Islam as like the creation of the earth also. It's like we were like on the primary school, secondary school, high school. Then Islam, it's like a more college, more university. Then you will have this like we call it in Norwegian, I don't know in English, but a bachelor of Kava, which mean like the last thing you will do when you will get your bachelor, to graduate date, like when you finish your study. So this is Islam, this is Quran. Like this is the last thing. Like okay, now you guys have like what Allah say that actually. Now guys, you have the book where everything you need to know is there. So okay. And actually, this book been sent to study it. It's not been sent to sing it, for example, or to brag it like, oh yeah, we have like a Quran from God and it didn't be changed. We know that, but It means sent to study it, which is, we know, all of us in Islam, we know that. And in Islam, we had people 1,000 years ago and more that, and maybe 100 years ago, they studied this Quran and they interpreted it like one way or another. The the problem in Islam and in Quran, in Islam and in Arabic and in Muslim people, and somehow we stopped interpret Quran after a while. We started to be dependent on the people who thought or who interpret Quran before us, like 1,000 years ago, and we started to use their stuff, which is normally, like logically, it didn't fit our time now, because Quran is like, it's a word of God. So imagine like there is an author, he is like very good author, and he wrote a book. After 100 years, this book, if it's like very life and like very like creativity, this book can be interpreted. When you read it more, you will interpret it more after 100 years, because things changed after you. Maybe this book, someone, for example, like Einstein, he wrote about things about, like, I don't know, about physics, but after a while, his books, his teaching, his principles start to become true. And we all know what happened in Hiroshima, in Japan. Sorry for them, actually. What I'm trying to say here, Quran, it's like the most book that need to be studied, actually. Then I recommend not only myself, I recommend everyone to study it from a curiosity, from a place of like, oh yeah, let's just leave the stereotype on the side, and let's just like take a look on this book, study it by myself, which I did by myself. And that's what there is people now in Islam and in Quran. That's why now we have in Islam and in Quran and in Middle East, because it's like, yeah, like many Muslims there start to have like more light there, because they start to think, they start to question the books, the interpretations been written 1,000 years ago, and they start to say like, no, we don't live 1,000 years ago, we live now, so let's think about Quran now. So when they started to do that, there is like, oh my god, beautiful things came out, beautiful thinking, because first of all, when you think and when you interpret things, and when you interpret things, God said it. Like, for example, he said, I have sent this to everyone. So when you interpret this as like, oh my god, then this book, it's for the person who lives in Japan, for the person who lives in USA, United States, for the person who lives in Norway, for the person who lives in Middle East, Palestine, for the person who lives in Syria, for the person who lives in Saudi Arabia, for the person who lives in wherever he lives. So this, it's like the first, like, oh yeah, so this means it's international book. This is the first thought will come to your mind. So if it is there, then the teaching there should suit everyone. So when you go deep there, you will find it is true. It has a lot of potential. Because like 1,000 years ago, they don't know about, like, for example, the Big Bang theory. But now when you read Quran, you will find it there. You actually will find the Big Bang theory there, as clear as it is possible. And for example, we believe, all of us, like in 1,000 years ago, for example, it was not like there's this evolution theory, like how we came to Earth. If you go to Quran right now, after this evolution came out to the light, you find it there. It's very clear. It is very clear there. That's the thing there. That's what Allah, He recommended us to study, to do researches, to study life itself, because whatever it is there, it is in the Quran. And whatever it's in the Quran, it is there. But yeah, I use but and let's say it and, which is better actually than but. And Quran being written in very, it's like a word of God, so it's been written very like a, yeah, it's like being can be interpreted in many ways, which is beautiful actually, because that's mean there is, it can suit every age, it can suit any time, it can suit any place. It's a beautiful, I read Quran and I found how much it is merciful there. It's very merciful there. I will go deep in this another videos. I will start to talk more about these things more and more and more, and I will use someone called Mohamed Shahror as like a resource. I have learned from him so much. He like did maybe 10 years or 5 years ago, and he's like a very enlightenment guy in this Quran perspective. And he was like, he put all of these seats to study, to ask question, to study, to question this, to question this and to question that. Hey, to question this and to question that, and to do things as very like to think, because it's written in Quran also that's he recommended us to think. And in the judgment day you cannot say like, oh yeah, he told me, or they told me, or they taught me, or they manipulated me, or they put me in the matrix, that's dark power control it and I couldn't see the truth. It couldn't work actually. It's not excuse in Quran, because actually everyone can reach the truth now, especially in our age now. So yeah, I hope this video will like open up some seeds into you, put some seeds inside of your heart, open up a new thinking way of you, like just to put the stereotype and start to question things, start to think, start to search. And I will put more videos. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Bye bye. Let me just show you also a place here before I go. So beautiful. It is beautiful. Bye bye, and I love you guys.